seeking true love? Okay, so I know I'm back, but you know, it is Valentine's Day tomorrow. And for anyone who is currently single or waiting for that person to finally step up for them, or maybe you might be in a relationship, but it's not really everything that you thought it would be. You ever had that happen? You know, we have this thought in our society that, especially around Valentine's Day, that we need to be in a relationship. But then you also look at the other side of that. That so many relationships don't work out. People break up, divorces happen. But maybe you still are holding out hope. You want true lasting love. Maybe you've been burned and you're like, I'm never getting married again because they all just lead to the same thing. And then you can't understand why somebody else would hold out. And you know, I get it. I get it. When you forget the beauty of love, or you've been burned by love, you can be a skeptic. And one of my dear friends and mentors who has just absolutely changed my life, Annie Lala, she talks about how she helps skeptics find true love. Because a skeptic, as Annie has said, is really just a failed idealist. There's somebody who once believed in love, but then they were jaded and burned by the world and they thought that it didn't exist, that it was just transactional. And I was a failed idealist. A long, long time ago, I met a man that I thought was going to be my true love, but I made a really big mistake. And I'm going to tell you what that big mistake is, because this is going to help you, especially if you're currently dating somebody, or you wish you were dating somebody, or there's somebody out there that feels unattainable right now. Okay? So, you need to understand this one key thing, if you're a woman especially. Never fall in love with someone just because they're paying attention to you. You don't actually fall in love with another person. True love is about falling in love with the version of yourself that you get to be around them. And you know, when you're looking for love outside of yourself, you're not becoming who you need to be to attract the true love that you seek. And so, you know, for a very, very long time, I was looking for love outside of myself. And that is how I ran into my former partner, is I was like, if only somebody would choose me. Ever been in that situation? If only somebody would choose me? Well, what if you chose them? And what if they chose you back? What if it was a completely mutual choosing? What if the love was there from the beginning and you just had to remember that it was there? And then that love grew over time. What if you didn't even have to do anything to get that love? What if it just was? So the secret, instead of falling in love with somebody just because they're paying attention to you, is really observe them. Who are they in the world? When you watch them, is that the kind of person that brings something out in you that has you embracing more of yourself? I mean, when I first met my true love, there was that attraction. I mean, he's gorgeous. He's got the most dreamy eyes that I could just get lost in. And he's got this habit of running his fingers through his hair. And of course, I was always thinking about how I wanted to run my fingers through that hair. Like, even from the beginning. And I had been burned by love. And I knew, oh dear, this man is kryptonite. You ever got that feeling where there's that guy that he's so cute and you just, oh my gosh, I want him so bad. But then you get into connection with that guy and he's no longer so cute. He's actually kind of a dick. Well, that's what happened with my ex. I got into a relationship with him and I thought that, like, I had the rose-colored glasses on and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's just amazing. But he wasn't the most amazing man I'd ever met. And he didn't turn me into the woman that I wanted to be. In fact, he did quite the opposite. And I even had told him recently, like a couple of months back, I'm like, you know what? If this one that you're liking isn't seeing you, she's not it. And, you know, I didn't see you. Like, I can appreciate you as a father and, like, provider to our kids. And I can appreciate that at a time in my life, like, you were there for me. And at the same time, you're not it. And you know you're not it. But you deserve to have a woman who looks at you the way that I look at my true love, as just he is everything. And the key was I pulled back. I was like, well, wait a minute. If I am this attracted, I gotta play these cards right. And this is what I'm going to suggest you do. It's like, you find somebody, observe them in the world. Be completely detached from the outcome of the relationship. Too many people, we get into a relationship, we start dating somebody, and if we're dating to marry, and we're not the kind of person that likes hookup culture, we're just like, well, you know, that's the third date, and we're in the talking stage, and we might as well just, this is it now, right? But then you overlook things. You squint. I mean, I did this. Thinking back to the butterflies I had in my stomach with my ex. And I mean, the chemistry was there. It's not like the chemistry wasn't there. But we faked a lot of things that we were into. He was really, really, really into the outdoors. Like, to the point where he would live off grid if he had the chance. And, like, there were viewpoints that he had that did not mesh with mine at all. And we kind of overlooked all that. We overlooked it because, well, we found somebody who we had chemistry with and we didn't want to be alone. And, well, date for a certain amount of time, then the only options are break up or keep going, and neither one of us wanted to break up. Not because this was it, but because we just were comfortable. And we got comfortable very quickly. That's another thing that I noticed. Is like, we got comfortable very quickly. I was already falling for him and buying him stuff for Christmas, and we hadn't even been going out for 3 weeks. Like, in hindsight, I'm like, wow. I didn't know this guy at all. And we'd been going out for 3 months. And we had Valentine's Day. And, like, I remember I hadn't said the L word yet. And he hadn't said the L word yet. But, you know, we'd had sleepovers. And we were a couple. But I hadn't said the L word yet. Why is it that we're so much more eager to jump into bed with somebody than we are in actually expressing our real feelings? That's another whole topic. But we hadn't said the L word yet, and I didn't actually feel it that much. I just thought I did. Really, it was still infatuation. And when you look at that, compared to what happened with my true love, where I was totally mega rough from Hercules, being like, I won't say I'm in love at all. And I'm not jumping into bed with him, because that wouldn't be ethical. And I don't want to hurt him. But he's a really, 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 really good friend. He's somebody that I could sit there and I could just listen to him talk for hours. We always had such fun. There was not an awkward stage. It just got better and better and just kept getting better. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's another thing we have in common. There's another thing we have in common. Oh my gosh, I adore this human. I really adore this human. And then I realized at a point, it's like, I'm in love with this human. But I'm not ready to jump into another relationship. And when you love someone, you're supposed to jump into a relationship. And I'm not ready to jump into a relationship. I mean, I just got out of a relationship, a really toxic relationship. Because I had held on for so long. And it devolved. It got toxic. Now, the funny thing is that once you let go of all of those feelings, you can see the person for who they really are. And once you get comfortable, you can start to see the person for who they are, and the shininess wears off. Unless it's true love, in which case you're falling deeper and deeper into love every year. Even when you're apart, you're still falling deeper and deeper into love. Whereas distance with somebody who's not right, you fall more in love with yourself, away from them. And you don't want them back, because you're finding yourself more and more. And you're just like, the version of me that wanted this person was not even who I really was. I didn't actually get to be me with this person. So, I mean, there came a point where I just was like, okay, our relationship has run its course. And Annie Lala, again, has a really beautiful way of saying, it's like you've graduated from that relationship. It was practice. You were stretching your muscles so that you'd be able to fall more in love with yourself and choose yourself. And then that automatically calls in your true love, and you have all the skills that you need to have to make that relationship work. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I now know just how much I'm going to fight for love, even when it's not right. And now that I know that, well, bring it on. Bring it on. All right, we've got these challenges. I'm going to face every single one of my fears. Yeah, I am. I'm going to heal myself. I'm going to become an even more extraordinary version of myself. When I see my true love, I'm going to tell him exactly how I feel about him. I might not say everything, but I will say. And then eventually, of course, I did confess, and I told him. And he's got his glass slipper, and he knows. But, you know, when you're observing people and asking yourself the question, does this person make me more into who I am? Or are they taking away from who I am? Instead of, does this person like me? It's, do I like this person? Like, if there were other options out there that were lining up at my door, would I still pick that one? Until you can say with absolute certainty that you can love this person better than anybody else on the planet, and that they can love you better than anybody else on the planet, and it is them, and you would choose them in 100 lifetimes, it's not it. I am perfectly happy waiting for my true love. I know that if I hypothetically went anywhere else, it wouldn't be right. I know that he's worth it. He's worth everything. And I know that it's only a matter of time before he comes back to me. Because he never really left. He can't leave. He's in my heart. He's in my soul. He's in my bloodstream. He's in my veins. I can't get him out. And I don't want to get him out. And he can come back when he can. He can come to me anytime. Anytime he wants. And nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. The love's still there. So, this is so different than what we've been taught, isn't it? You're told to love the one you're with if you can't be with the one you really love. But, you know, instinctively they know you don't love them better than anybody else. And that can get toxic. So, to my ex, who, I mean, I'm grateful for the lessons. I'm grateful for the Valentine's days that we'd shared where he spoiled me rotten. I got to experience that. I got to experience what it was like to have somebody go all out for me. And I know that my true love is going to 10x that. Because that's where my ex and my true love are similar. That's the other thing, is there's certain qualities that certain people have. Otherwise you wouldn't be attracted to them. That your true love basically is an embodiment of all of the good things. And, you know, it's just, I just keep thinking about that. About how my ex, our first Valentine's Day together, when I was still kind of not saying anything and resisting, and he showed up at my work, and I'd been all excited because I was finally getting to go out to Valentine's Day dinner, and I'd never gone on a Valentine's Day dinner date, ever. Nobody had ever wined and dined me, and he was taking me to my restaurant to get some pasta, and he showed up and he had a stuffed animal that we still technically have because I gave it to my daughter because it's hers now. But he had done the Build-A-Bear and he'd done that for me. And he also bought like some extra stuff. I didn't get jewelry yet because that was still too early. But he bought flowers and he took me out to dinner and he got me chocolate and he just spoiled me. Absolutely spoiled me. My ex isn't, he's not like a bad guy when it comes to treating a lady. When he wants to spoil, he does know how to do that. So anybody who is watching, I mean, if they happened to come across my ex and they were actually considering him as a prospective mate, I mean, there's someone for everyone, even for him. And he's done some work on himself. He might have a little bit more to go. He's focused on himself. But, you know, I just want to let it be said for the record that, yeah, while there was a lot of toxicity in our relationship, when it was at the beginning, it was really, he does know how to spoil his lady. And he does do it from a place of actually wanting to do that. So, yeah. Anyway. So I knew what that was like. And now when I think about that, it's like, even if my true love showed up with takeout, chicken parmigiana, fettuccine alfredo, offered to take me out on the town, I love him so much, I'd be like, are you kidding me? We're going to sit on the couch and we're going to just talk and we're going to hang out. I mean, if you want to take me out and wine and dine me, sure, we can do that. But we got the rest of our lives to do that. Tonight, let's just have it all be about us. Because, I've got the weekend free. The kids are going with their dad. We actually ended up switching weekends, which was very lucky. So if my true love did want to show up, we've got the whole weekend. And if he still needs more time, well, he's going to be with me anyway. I'll create something for him. And he can check it out later. Because, it's not about the day. It's about what the day represents. And it's not about the date. It's not about where you go. It's about who you're with. And it's not about how long it takes for you to get together. It's about the journey. So, don't be afraid to wait. If you want more guidance on this, it's all on my channel, Carly Bonderud Uncensored. I have playlists for true love. And if you do want that guidance, it's there. You can also just go check out my friend Annie Lala at LalaBird. She's got some amazing Instagram reels. They're really how I was able to stay so true to myself, even when things got really hard. Because it's just worth it. True love is worth it. Anything less and you're settling, we know how that ends. We don't need to do that anymore. So, if you want true love, let's just recap here. You need to find yourself first. Fall in love with the version of yourself that you already are. And then somebody's going to come in. And then you're going to ask yourself, is this person aligned with the version of myself I already am on my way to being? And do they enhance that? Do I fall even more in love with myself in my life? And would they be an asset that would enhance it? And could I continue to stand for their dreams? Can I love them better than anyone else? Once you have that answer, once you know that there is no one else that could love that person as much as you love them, and they are the one that would love you better than anyone else, when you know that, that's actually when the real work begins. That's actually when you need to craft the glass slipper and work through your fears and keep moving forward even when it's hard. Because, you could be ready. You could be like, I found you. But they might not be ready yet. They might be like, yeah, I know. But it's still not the right time. Like, I'm really not in a place right now to be in a relationship as much as I love you. And you deserve to have all of me. And because I can't give you all of me right now, I'm going to do the hard thing. And I'm going to walk away. And I don't expect you to wait for me. But, it's meant to be, it'll come back around. And it's meant to be. And it'll come back around. Sometimes there's more work that just needs to be done. Enjoy the space as much as you enjoy the togetherness. Don't hang on. Don't latch on. Don't cling. True love waits till it's right. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that's enough for now. I've done 2 reels on my public and Carly Bonderud. I've done 2 reels on Carly Bonderud Uncensored, and I've done a reel for my birth channel, and I've attended a group call today and got some more insights. And I've taken a little bit of a rest, and I think I'm going to take more of a rest. And we'll see what comes up. Something good's got to come through. And yeah, just keep holding the faith. And you're never alone on Valentine's Day. You've got you. Go love yourself. If there's nobody else you've got around you, love yourself. Treat yourself this Valentine's Day. You deserve it. I love you, and I will talk to you later. Namaste.